The end of AR-15? For 60 years, the AR-15 has been untouchable. Modular, familiar, everywhere. But in 2026, the cracks are finally showing. If you run it suppressed, it fouls in 200 rounds. If you shoot it fast, the handguard burns your hand. And if you live in the wrong state, it's illegal. Today, we're breaking down 25 platforms that solve the problems the AR-15 can't. This isn't hype, this is engineering. The AR-15 dominates for 3 reasons: modularity, parts availability, and universal familiarity. But those strengths hide 3 critical weaknesses. First, direct impingement vents carbon directly into the action. Run it suppressed, and it chokes within 200 rounds. Second, aluminum handguards are thermal conductors. Sustained fire makes the rail physically painful to hold. Third, legal status. In half the country, the AR-15 is a rolling compliance crisis. These aren't minor annoyances, they're engineering pressure points. And in 2026, manufacturers stopped trying to band-aid the AR-15 and started building platforms that solve these problems from the ground up. Smith & Wesson Model 1854. Smith & Wesson bolted a full M-LOK synthetic forend onto a .44 Magnum lever action frame. This isn't a cowboy gun, it's a home defense platform that accepts weapon lights, lasers, and foregrips, exactly like a modern rifle. The lever action keeps it legal in every jurisdiction in the country, but the M-LOK integration means you're not sacrificing capability for compliance. You can mount the same streamlight you run on your AR, the same vertical grip, the same 2-point sling. The 1854 doesn't ask you to abandon your existing gear ecosystem. It asks you to rethink what a manual action can do. Smith & Wesson looked at banned state markets and saw opportunity instead of limitation. Henry Protector, H-12. Henry went a completely different direction. They optimized for signature management. The H-12 uses a sealed breech design with a high-pressure gasket system specifically engineered for subsonic 38 special loads. Unlike traditional lever actions that vent combustion gases from the receiver, the sealed breech traps everything. This makes it one of the quietest centerfire platforms available without a suppressor. There's no gas blowback, no mechanical noise beyond the hammer strike, no venting pressure signature. If you need stealth in a jurisdiction that bans semi-autos and restricts suppressors, this is the answer. The 38 special chambering also creates ammunition commonality with snub-nose revolvers, giving you logistical simplification. The AR-15 can't match without caliber conversions and magazine swaps. Taylor's & Co. TC-73. Taylor's solved a problem that's plagued lever actions since the 1880s, feeding rimless cartridges reliably through a tubular magazine. They reverse-engineered a 9mm extraction system that cycles Luger rounds without rim lock failures, something Winchester and Marlin never figured out. This creates ammunition commonality between your sidearm and your rifle. For shooters in restrictive states who EDC a 9mm handgun, the TC-73 means you can feed both platforms from the same stockpile. You're not carrying 2 different calibers, 2 different magazine types, 2 different cleaning kits. Taylor's used modern CNC machining and advanced metallurgy to make a 140-year-old action type tactically relevant again. The TC-73 proves that compliance-friendly doesn't mean capability limited. Beretta BRX 1. Tactical. Beretta's BRX-1 uses a straight-pull linear operation with interchangeable rotating bolt heads, 8 lug for standard cartridges, 16 lug for magnums. This reduces your manual cycle from 4 traditional bolt-action motions down to 2. Straight back, straight forward. The rotating bolt head is borrowed directly from AR-15 bolt engineering, giving you the same lockup strength and accuracy potential as a semi-auto, but in a manually operated format that stays legal everywhere. Trained shooters are hitting 8 to 10 aimed rounds per minute with this system that's not semi-auto speed, but it's fast enough for any realistic hunting or defensive scenario where you're making deliberate, precision shots. The modular bolt system also means you can swap between 308 Winchester and 300 Winchester Magnum on the same receiver just by changing the bolt head and barrel assembly. Zigzauer Cross Magnum. SIG machined a one-piece aluminum receiver from a single billet, no bedding stress points, no joints where 2 receiver halves meet and create dimensional inconsistencies. The floating bolt head uses spring tension to self-center during feeding, which compensates for the dimensional tolerances inherent in mass production and ensures perfect lockup on every single round. This is a custom gunsmith technique being implemented in a factory rifle selling for under $2,000. The folding stock mechanism locks rigid with zero play, maintaining zero when deployed, critical for backcountry hunters who need to break the rifle down for transport but can't afford point-of-impact shifts when they unfold it at the trailhead. The straight pull operation keeps you on target. Your firing hand never leaves the grip. Your cheek never leaves the stock. Your eye never leaves the scope. Savage Impulse 2026 Tactical Variant. Savage's Hexlock system uses 6 ball bearings that cam outward into a barrel extension recess when you close the bolt, creating 360-degree lockup with zero rotational movement. This eliminates the cam-over resistance you feel. In traditional rotating bolt guns, the Impulse's bolt closes with a straight push and locks instantly. The result is faster follow-up shots because there's no wasted motion fighting cam surfaces or rotating the bolt handle through an arc. Savage also engineered the Impulse with a straight pull configuration that keeps your support hand on the forend during cycling. You're not reaching over the scope or breaking your firing grip. For precision shooters in band states, this delivers near semi-auto practical fire rates while maintaining legal compliance and delivering sub-MOA accuracy that rivals custom bolt guns. Aero Precision Solace. Aero machined the recoil lug as an integral part of the receiver, rather than pinning or epoxying a separate component. This eliminates a common failure point in production rifles and ensures the lug can never shift position under recoil, a problem that destroys accuracy after a few thousand rounds of hard use. The 60-degree bolt throw is engineered specifically so you can cycle the action without removing your eye from the scope or breaking cheek weld, which is essential for rapid follow-up shots on multiple targets or making quick corrections on wounded game. Aero is shipping the Solace with a match-grade trigger and a pre-fit barrel system that accepts Savage small shank barrels, giving you access to hundreds of aftermarket barrel options without custom gunsmith fitting or head spacing work. Features that used to cost $3,000 in a custom build are now available for under $1,200. Franklin Armory Prevail Fidelis. The Fidelis uses Franklin's total round control system, a mechanical claw extractor that grips the cartridge case rim from the moment it leaves the magazine until the instant it's ejected. This provides positive physical control through the entire feeding cycle, eliminating the reliability trade-off between controlled round feed Mauser actions and push-feed Remington 700 designs. You get Mauser-level extraction reliability with Remington-level smooth chambering in a single system. The 24-inch carbon ceramic barrel uses a carbon fiber overwrap with a ceramic thermal barrier coating that prevents heat transfer to the action and stops the barrel from walking during extended strings of fire. Traditional steel barrels shift point of impact as they heat up. The Fidelis maintains zero even during rapid-fire scenarios that would cause conventional barrels to walk several inches at 100 yards. It's compatible with Remington 700 footprints and accepts Zermatt TL 3 SR 3 pre-fit barrels. Stop for a second. To make a standard AR-15 do what these next rifles do factory standard, you'd need to drop $800 in aftermarket parts. Nickel boron bolt carrier group, adjustable gas block, suppressor optimized buffer system, enhanced extractor and ejector, thermal barrier coating on the gas tube, premium handguard with integrated heat shielding. That's the AR-15 tax. The hidden cost of turning a basic platform into something mission-capable for suppressed use. The market decided in 2026 that buy it cheap, then upgrade it yourself isn't acceptable anymore. These next platforms come optimized from the factory, no additional investment required. Is the modularity of the AR worth an extra $800 in tax to you? Tell me why in the comments. Franklin Armory F-22V with Vanquish 22 barrel. Franklin partnered with Angstadt Arms to build a baffle-free suppressed barrel that solves the lead fouling problem killing traditional rimfire suppressors. The Vanquish 22 uses a series of precisely angled expansion chambers that progressively bleed off gas pressure, dropping standard velocity. 22 LR ammunition below the supersonic threshold without creating the dead-end baffle stacks where lead particulate accumulates. Traditional rimfire suppressors require complete disassembly and cleaning every 500 to 1,000 rounds, or they start causing failures to eject and failures to feed the Vanquish 22 barrel. Runs clean for over 5,000 rounds between maintenance intervals. The F-22V's blowback action is also specifically tuned for subsonic ammunition velocities, preventing the short-stroking malfunctions that plague. 22. Semi-autos. When you slow the bullet below the velocity threshold, the recoil spring was originally designed for. This is the quietest, cleanest-running semi-auto rimfire platform on the market. Shadow Systems U-526 16-inch rifle. Shadow Systems didn't just thread a barrel and call it suppressor-ready. They engineered a spiral-fluted match-grade barrel with a gas system calibrated specifically for suppressed back pressure, then designed the HS-923 modular suppressor as an integrated system component from day one. The spiral fluting uses helical cuts instead of straight flutes, which increases torsional rigidity and improves barrel harmonic consistency. Shot to shot, this translates directly to tighter groups at distance. The gas port diameter is sized to prevent overgassing when suppressed, eliminating the excessive carrier velocity that causes bolt bounce and accelerates parts wear in traditional AR-15 seconds running cans. Shadow also integrated a proprietary barrel extension design that improves lockup consistency between barrel and bolt, reducing the headspace variation that degrades accuracy in AR pattern rifles after several thousand rounds of hard use. This is a complete suppressed weapon system, not a rifle with aftermarket threading. Shadow Systems E-526 11.5-inch pistol. The E-526 takes that suppressor-tuned philosophy and compresses it into an 11.5-inch package, optimized for vehicle-borne operations and close-quarters work. But here's the engineering challenge. Short barrels generate significantly higher gas port pressure compared to 16-inch configurations. Shadow had to completely recalculate the gas port diameter, upgrade to a heavier H2 buffer, and install a reinforced extractor spring to handle the increased bolt carrier velocity inherent in short-barreled platforms. The result is a pistol length 5.56 that runs suppressed without the violent recoil impulse, excessive gas blowback in your face, or accelerated wear that makes most short-barreled AR setups unpleasant to shoot and expensive to maintain over time. The E-526 proves that suppressor-centric engineering can make compact platforms actually viable for extended use instead of just technically functional. Shadow Systems HS-923 Suppressor. The HS-923 features a 2-in-1 modular design. Run it in compact configuration for maximum maneuverability, or extend it to full length for maximum sound reduction. This eliminates the traditional suppressor compromise, where you bought either a short can for weapon handling or a long can for noise performance. Now you get both configurations in a single $699 unit that undercuts most competitors, while offering dual functionality. The baffle stack extension locks solid with zero play, maintaining zero shift between configurations. You can optimize suppressor length based on mission requirements. Run it compact for vehicle work and dynamic movement. Extend it to full length for static overwatch positions, where signature discipline matters more than overall weapon length. Shadow Systems Axio. The Axio incorporates a dedicated recoil control ledge machined directly into the polymer frame, a positive mechanical indexing point that helps control muzzle flip during rapid strings of fire. The frame also features Shadow's patented multi-footprint optic cut that allows direct mounting of popular red dot optics without adapter plates, eliminating the height over bore compromises and mechanical weak points that plague traditional slide milling with aftermarket mounting plates. Shadow Systems engineered the optic interface into the slide architecture from the beginning, rather than retrofitting an old design. This improves structural integrity and ensures the optic sits as low as possible in the slide for faster target acquisition and better co-witness with iron sights. Shadow Systems Axio Pro. Building on the Axio's frame architecture, the Pro model adds a system of interchangeable back straps designed to adapt grip geometry to individual hand sizes and shapes, rather than forcing shooters to modify their grip technique around a fixed frame dimension. Combined with the same recoil control ledge and direct mount optic system, the Axio PRO represents Shadow Systems' decade-long engineering philosophy. Identify failure modes and weak points in traditional designs, then engineer them out at the component level. This same system-level thinking, finding problems, solving them permanently, and integrating solutions from the ground up carries directly into their rifle platforms and suppressor designs. Shadow doesn't chase marketing features. They solve mechanical problems. Daniel Defense DD-4X1. The DD-4X1 uses carbon fiber barrel inserts to thermally decouple the handguard from the barrel, preventing heat transfer to the shooter's support hand during sustained fire. In Daniel Defense's internal testing, this reduced handguard surface temperatures by 40% during rapid-fire strings. But here's the more critical advantage for night operations. Thermal isolation prevents heat soak from shifting the zero of infrared laser aiming modules mounted on the top rail. As barrels heat up during extended engagements, traditional free-float handguards warp slightly at the mounting interface that flexes enough to shift your laser's point of impact several inches at 100 yards, which is unacceptable in precision engagements. The X1's thermal decoupling solves this problem. The 4-bolt bolt-up system creates 4 independent contact points between the handguard and upper receiver, ensuring optics and laser devices maintain zero during vehicle transport, hard drops, and rough field use. Daniel Defense engineered this specifically for professional end users who can't afford zero shift when lives depend on first-round hits in low-light conditions. Savuk. Palmetto State Armory's VUK merges AK pattern long-stroke piston reliability with Western-style monoblock receivers and AR pattern controls. The long-stroke piston system keeps carbon fouling and combustion heat completely out of the receiver gas's vent at the front of the rifle, not into your bolt carrier group. This dramatically extends parts life, reduces cleaning intervals, and eliminates the gas blowback in your face that plagues suppressed direct impingement guns. The internal recoil assembly design allows for a side-folding stock without adding receiver length or requiring proprietary buffer tube systems. This is a critical advantage for vehicle-borne operators and shooters who need low-profile transport in backpacks or small cases. The VUK represents crowdsourced product development. PSA took years of community feedback about real-world reliability, pain points, and engineered mechanical solutions instead of chasing marketing trends. It runs cleaner than direct impingement while maintaining compatibility with standard AR-15 magazines, triggers, and furniture. Desert Tech WLVRN Wolverine. Bullpups have always been mechanically complex, high part counts, difficult field maintenance, and accuracy compromises from barrel mounting flex. The WLVRN reduced total component count by 49 parts compared to legacy bullpup designs, dramatically simplifying both manufacturing tolerances and field-level maintenance. Desert Tech machined the barrel mounting system directly into the aluminum receiver, rather than using a separate trunnion or barrel nut assembly. This increased structural rigidity and yielded a claimed 30% accuracy improvement over their previous generation bullpup platforms. The bullpup configuration gives you a rifle with an overall length shorter than most 16-inch ARs, while maintaining full 20-inch barrel performance and ballistics. You get 308 Winchester, or 6.5 Creedmoor long-range capability in a 26-inch overall package. Desert Tech made the bullpup format viable as a legitimate precision long-range tool, instead of just a compact range novelty or close-quarters specialist. We've analyzed 25 platforms. Every one is quieter, lighter, more thermally stable, or more legally resilient than a standard AR-15 inches specific use cases. So is the AR-15 dead? No. But it's no longer the automatic default choice. The industry is moving from one-size-fits-all to the right tool for the specific mission. The gap between custom gunsmithing and production manufacturing has closed. Precision is democratized. Thermal management is standard. Signature reduction is baseline. The AR-15 isn't being replaced by a better rifle, it's being replaced by a better philosophy. If you had to bet your life on one of these 25 platforms over a bone stock AR-15, which one are you choosing, and why? Drop your answer in the comments below. The era of the generalist is over,